Turangani to Inolotu, members of the Manua, the provincial administrator, district officer, members of Naveicovatu community, directors from Ministry of Waterways and senior staff, Mrs. Soso Wai, the officer in charge of the Vetiver Grass Project, staff from Ministry of Agriculture, ladies and gentlemen, Bulavinaka to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the Vanua, it's a pleasure to be here today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to commission the Vetiver for Riverbank Stabilization Project, first ever for Fiji. There is no better day to commission this project than today, as we celebrate the International Day of Action for Rivers. So today, throughout the world, this day is dedicated for us to deliberate, talk, engage with people about what actions we will take to protect our rivers. So this is an international day. Today is the International Day for Action for Rivers. So we have taken this day's activity a step further. Apart from Talanoa, apart from thinking about what action we'll take to protect our rivers, today we are also commissioning the first ever riverbank stabilization project using a nature-based solution. But before that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to mark this important day. To mark this important day, I would like to reiterate that government is committed to safeguard our natural resources. Rivers, all the estuaries, waterways, all the resources that is provided to us by nature, we, as the government of the day, I want to assure everyone in this country that the future generations will not be deprived of using the same natural resource as we do today. Our constitution, the 2013 constitution, guarantees this, and we have our legislation in place too. And we will come out strong on enforcement of our legislations. There have been instances of sea and riverbank destabilization, cutting down of mangroves, dumping of litter and industrial waste in our waterways, unsustainable and irresponsible commercial, industrial and agricultural practices which is posing a threat to our waterways, and indiscriminate destruction of our natural resources for personal commercial gains. So ladies and gentlemen, let me make it very clear that while we want investment and growth and development, government wants investment and growth and development. Which government doesn't want investment, growth and development? Every government wants investment, growth and development. And we will support and promote it. Our ministry will support and promote it. Environment Ministry is one of those ministries which is required to approve or be one of the signatories for approval of any investment projects. And we will. But not at the expense of our environment and natural resources. I want to make it very clear that we will not approve any development project at the expense of our environment and natural resources. Having said that, we will not deprive future generations to derive this same benefit from our natural resources and environment as we have done and we are doing. While natural resources provide direct benefits to current generation, the loss of these natural resources would not only deprive the future generation from deriving the same direct benefits, it will also deprive them of an environment whose value may not be measurable quantitatively. So in this regard, while we do our best to educate everyone on the importance of protecting our environment and natural resources, we will at the same time use the full force of law to punish anyone who would attempt to do otherwise. In this journey of us to protect our environment and natural resources, you play a very important role. The owners of our natural resources, owners of land, members of the Matangali, you play a very important role. And don't be gullible and fall prey to these investors who will come and convince you for short-term gains to exploit our natural resources. You have a responsibility to ensure that future generations also share and obtain the same benefit as you are doing from our natural resources. So whatever you do, I ask you all that you look at the future. You will be noted in the history books of Fiji for protecting our environment and natural resources. So please, it's a plea that I'm making today to all owners of natural resources in this country that join us in protecting our natural resources. Ladies and gentlemen, today marks an important day for Fiji because we are gathered here today to commission a nature-based solution to a serious problem arising out of climate change. We have begun a new journey of using vetiver grass to control riverbank erosion. So here we are using a nature-based solution to deal with a problem caused by nature. A nature-based solution to deal with a problem caused by nature. Ladies and gentlemen, riverbank erosion is a natural and inevitable phenomenon and can be defined as a dynamic natural process which involves the removal of materials from the banks of a river. Rivers and streams are dynamic systems, as such they are constantly changing. The natural equilibrium, however, is excavated through our activities. We are contributing. While nature is causing this problem, but we are speeding up, we are contributing and exacerbating the problem. And we need to remove ourselves from the equation, causal equation, and turn ourselves to protect this issue of riverbank erosion. Ladies and gentlemen, unattended river bank erosion may have a major consequences on human settlements. Displacement is likely, and you may have heard a number of villages, a few villages have been moved, relocated, and there are a number of other villages which are earmarked to be relocated. Displacement is likely to occur in riverside regions where people are vulnerable to riverbank erosion, and this has multiple socio-economic impacts. This include loss of home, agricultural land. All you need to do is to visit Singatoka Valley to see how riverbank erosion is taking up good, fertile agricultural land and washing it away. Look at Bao behind Bhutia village, the rate at which we are losing the fertile, arable agricultural land. Also results in loss of infrastructure such as roads. Look at Tailevu, how riverbank erosion is threatening the road infrastructure there. Riverbank erosion is also threatening our schools. Look at Naveicovatu Primary School in Cornivia, where bank erosion has reached just a meter away from the school. Ladies and gentlemen, in Fiji, a considerable percentage of our population live along the banks of meandering rivers and in other high-risk zones. While they lived in harmony with the river in the past, things have started to change now. These communities are now more vulnerable now than ever before. Their personal safety and shelter, as well as sources of their livelihood, are a threat from riverbank erosion and its impact. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ministry of Waterways and Environment was established in 2017 by Honorable Prime Minister, Honorable Josiah Boringe Bainimarama, and announced in the budget by Honorable Minister for Economy, Honorable Ayaz Sayed Qayyum, primarily to protect our communities, to protect our infrastructure, to ensure that our communities can live in harmony with our natural resources and the environment. Ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of this project is to restore riverbanks which are vulnerable to erosion through an integrated ecosystem-based community approach. The goal of this project is to reduce riverbank erosion through an ecological approach using Vetiver technology, planned and delivered and maintained through communities, making this project a unique one. This is a unique project because in this project, we're giving the ownership to the community. You do the project, you implement the project, you take ownership of the project, you protect the project, we will pay you. One of its kind, unique project. We design the project, we train you, we pay you, you deliver, and you look after it, it becomes part of you, part of your community. It's a unique project. And we want to replicate this project throughout Fiji. Throughout Fiji. And I urge all communities to see this as exemplary and come forward to us. We will come, train you, and we want to implement this project so that we protect all communities throughout Fiji. And ladies and gentlemen, this project will become a model project for the entire world, because Fiji is not alone. The entire world is suffering from erosion of riverbank, estuaries, waterways, and this needs to be protected. We cannot afford to go down the route of structural bank protection because it's very expensive and also it is not sustainable. In here, not only this particular technology is sustainable, cheap, but also it will contribute to our effort to mitigate climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, the Naveicovatu community as a village has planted 400 meters of vetiver along the river bank, aimed at protecting the village from erosion. Furthermore, an added dimension to this project is fruit trees are also being planted to support the nutritional security in the village, with surplus going to the roadside stalls and markets on weekend. While in the rural interior, food poverty is not there, but an issue that we have noted is that of balanced diet, nutritional. And with this project, we will also be dealing with and solving Ministry of Agriculture's pursuit to ensure the rural communities also have a balanced diet. So, ladies and gentlemen, we look forward to really supporting this project throughout Fiji, and I do hope that communities will come forward and liaise with us. Our officer who will lead this, Josephine Sausawai, will be the leader of this project, and we look forward to expanding this project throughout Fiji. At this juncture, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to give an invitation. invitation to our donors, NGOs and other agencies to promote Vetiver as a tool for riverbank stabilization and for erosion control purpose. We need to work together to scale up such technology, ecosystem-based approaches, and use it as a vegetative candidate for bioengineering river stabilization work. So I now wish to invite them to provide funding and take ownership of matching commitment with us. We intend to do 50 kilometers every year, and we invite the NGO to do 50 kilometers, and we invite the private sector, the business sector, under their corporate social responsibility to do 50 kilometers. So that every year we can do 150 kilometers of riverbank protection through this Vetiver grass technology. We will give you the location, we will train the community, we will design the bank. All the NGO needs to do is get in funding, and we'll give you the 50 kilometer identified. And the private sector will give them the 50 kilometer. All they need to do is get the funding and match it with us and show your true commitment to protecting our communities. So ladies and gentlemen, with these words, I want to thank you all for being here today. To be noted in the history books of Fiji, to be the first village to start this project, which will now spread throughout Fiji. And I want to thank all members of this community for assisting our staff and having the perseverance and patience. And today here we are. I look forward to launching of this project. Thank you. Naka.